Well, how about that debate that we had tonight with Mittens, Romney, and Obama? Well, as I always say in all of these debates, is that who really won, who really lost, is really the American people. We have lost. I mean, we've always lost in these debates. And to tell us that the only solution is to buy either Pepsi or Coca Cola, aka Mittens Romney or Obama. I mean, this is our solution. This is all that we can do. We can get a rich white Mormon or a black professor. And there's nothing wrong with being a black professor because I know that Obama is not really making it a big issue that he's a black professor, but Mittens, on the other hand, makes a big issue of his Mormonism, of his church, his faith. And he even says so himself, my faith, my religion makes me who I am. It's all my life. It's all I am. So if that's the case, Mittens, then why don't you let us ask you a simple question about your faith? Oh, we can do that. Because that is, I don't know, that's not polite. That's not political correctness. And you know how Republicans always accuse the liberals of being PC, especially with the gay shit. Oh, but we cannot ask simple questions to Mormon Bishop Romney about his faith. We cannot ask him about whether or not it's true that his church has a oath of vengeance against the United States, how his church sided with the Confederacy against the Union, how his church promoted up to this date and still promotes it within, secretly, though it does exist, polygamy and all its forms, ugly forms, anti-women theology and all that. So we're not allowed to ask those kinds of questions. We're not allowed to ask him about the white horse prophecy, the red horse prophecy. What are those, Jose? Well, go look it up. Basically, the Mormons think that they're going to take over the country. That's their prophecy, that they are the chosen ones. We are the Gentiles. The American people are their natural enemies. That's what they say. That's their theology. And they believe in what the Taliban and these Islamists, Wahhabis, whatever you want to call them, people who promote the Sharia, they believe in the same thing, except it's a different God. And that is that we shouldn't have a secular, neutral government. We should have a government that is theocratic, that will criminalize thought, criminalize blasphemy. And if you look at what they're doing today, just look at what they're doing, these Mormons. It's not to bash them, but if you're going to say that your Mormonism is what makes you who you are, then you know what? I'm not going to vote for you no matter what you say. Because, I mean, look at them. They're telling their members of the Mormon church, the LDS church, they're telling them, hey, if you vote for anybody else but Romney, if you vote, let's say for Obama, you vote for Gary Johnson, you vote for the the Green Party, you are excommunicated. You are going against the Mormon teachings. That's what they're saying now. All these bishops, because there are no priests there. What did Romney say today during the debate? That he was a Mormon pastor or something? No, they don't have that. They have Mormon bishops. A bishop is more towards the level of a priest. So when I say a Mormon Bishop Romney, you might be saying, oh, he was high up in the ladder. No, that's actually really low. The next position that's higher, I think it's the president, state president, which is close to a Catholic or a mainstream Christian bishop. But just to look at the Mormons and their theocratic ideology, do we really want this? No. And Obama cannot even go there, of course, because it's not PC to attack somebody's religion. But we did that with Obama. Remember, people accusing him of being a Muslim? Like, if that's true. And people accusing Obama of not being a Christian. People accusing Obama of the fact that he is anti-American because, oh, lo and behold, a reverend that he was very close to, remember that? Reverend Wright? Remember that fool? From the Chicago megachurch where Obama used to attend? And we had this Reverend Wright fellow saying very controversial things. And so the conservatives, Sean Hannity, Rush Limbaugh, and Groucho Marx, a.k.a. Mark Levin, they were all basically nailing Obama to the cross, figuratively speaking, because, oh no, look, your bishop, your minister, the person that your spiritual guidance counselor, basically saying that America is horrible. In a way, he was saying something else, though it's totally different. But they were attacking Obama because of his religious beliefs. So why can't we do that to Mittens here? I know there is a conspiracy. I mean, look at all this shit here. Look at the Mormons now going on YouTube and having all these stupid ads. Oh, look at me. I'm a Mormon. Excuse me. Oh, I'm a Mormon. My name is Juan, and I'm a Mormon. Like, they have black Mormons now. Oh, okay, like, that's gonna work. I don't know what black person would ever be a Mormon, considering that it was up to the 1970s that they were racist. I don't know. I mean, look at their recent history, like, not even that far away, 1960s, 50s, and the 40s. The Mormon Church was heavily visited and supported by racists, by the Confederates, by Scottish Freemasons who were having a problem with these black people. We don't want black people in our church, so they go to the Mormon Church. They go to, and they become Mormons because it was all white. It was an all white congregation, and you can actually just research that, and you'll know that. So anyway. The debate was pretty much, I don't know. If you ask me who really won, I would say it was Obama that won this time. Well, he finally got back into his groove, and the moderator was alright. I mean, that Cindy, what's her name? Candy Crowley, that's her name. Supposedly she's a lesbian as well. But she really nailed Romney, Mittens, when he tried to lie about that remark that Obama made about the whole, it's an act of terrorism, the whole Benghazi consulate incident in Libya, where we had the U.S. ambassador to Libya being killed, who was presumably gay. I don't know about that. So what they're saying is that, well, what Romney is saying is that it's Obama's fault that terrorists went out there and attacked Benghazi and killed this ambassador. And I think there's something really weird about this because, I mean, look at it this way. There are a lot of Mormons that go to these missionaries. They learn different languages, and when they come back, where do they apply for a job? The CIA. I mean, look at who's really running the CIA and all these high positions within that agency. You're going to see Mormons. Basically, the CIA is a Mormon agency. It's a Mormon takeover. And there are other people with these conspiracy theories that, oh, look, homos and gays and lesbians, they're taking over the CIA and the FBI. Like, that's going to happen. And that can't happen anyway because you have Mormons in high positions in that agency. Nobody wants to talk about the Mormon takeover of the CIA, and neither does Obama. So that's also a problem. And I think what happened, if you want to ask me, is that somehow I think a patsy for the CIA was involved. And the guy who was behind the attack, the guy who was behind the death squad, he was trained. He was trained at Gitmo. That's the new report that's coming out, that the head leader, the head honcho of this death squad that killed the U.S. ambassador was actually trained by the CIA. Try to make it, yeah. Basically that's what really happened, and we can make a connection, and we can say, look, this is what is going on, and we can speculate, pretty securely speculate, that there is a Mormon takeover, and the Mormons and the CIA want Mitt Romney in the White House. That's what they want. That's what I say. And I know I'm going to get a lot of heat from this. Fine. Go ahead. Send me your heat. I'm anti-Mormon and all this shit. Whatever. But here's the thing I also want to bring up before I talk about something else here, but is that there were supposed to be these rules for the debate, and it appears to me that Mitt Romney, Mittens, he couldn't help himself, and he broke all the rules. He kept going over the time, he kept interrupting Obama, he talked to Obama, he couldn't do that. That's against the rules. You see how people like Mittens, the privileged upper class, the Club 400, this is where Mittens come from. Mittens comes from the Club 400. And this Club 400, they don't care about rules. They make up the rules, then they break their own rules because they want to be above everybody else. And how can you do that? Well, you need to be like Gordon Gekko. You need to be like that guy. The guy who's going to be the sneaky weasel, who's going to break all the rules. Doesn't matter how many times he breaks them, as long as he breaks them and he gets ahead. So if you cannot really obey the rules, simple rules in a debate, what makes you think you can obey the laws of the land or to execute the laws? Because Mitt Romney comes from this type of mentality that the elite can do anything that they want. We don't need rules. We can make up the rules and change them as we go along. We don't care. That's the attitude, I think, of the most privileged of the privileged of this society. And that's who Mittens represents. And that's why I think he will be a tremendous, hideous, odious, dangerous choice. I really do believe that. The more I know about Mittens, about his religion, about his theocracy, about his lies, his manipulation, his true agenda, and the people who are backing him, these neocons who want a third world war with Russia and Iran and China and all this. We cannot afford to destroy ourselves like this. Now, grant you that Obama is not really the man. I don't think he is. And I said this before. What is Obama? Obama is a butt plug. He is there to stop the diarrhea from flowing out. Romney wants to come in and unplug your butthole so that way you can spill all that watery diarrhea all over your underwear and your pants. Instead of fixing the symptoms and curing the disease that's causing you the diarrhea. That's what we have today. We have a bloated rectum filled with shit. And nobody knows what to do about it. Or at least they pretend that they don't know. But I think they know. They know. Come on. Obama has phone access to Ben Bernanke. If he really wanted to fix the economy, he would have said, hey, Ben, $1 trillion to people who want to open up businesses and hire people. Let's do that. And another $1 trillion to fix our infrastructure, to build more highways and bridges and to maintain them. I mean, there are many bridges out there that are falling apart. So, but he doesn't do that. He tries to, but he's not doing it. And that's the problem that we have today. And that's why I say in the beginning that the American people are the real losers, because we don't have a real clear choice. And gay activists, they tell me, we do have a clear choice, Jose. I don't see it. Because Obama, if you want to talk about other issues like Social Security or Medicaid, Obama has always been saying we should reform it, we should tweak it, prevent it from going bankrupt. And how can you do that? Is one, not to see how we can actually cut out all the fat, or to find ways to fundraise more money for Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security. What are we doing is we are going to gut it. We're going to take away a lot of the benefits, shrink the benefits as much as we can. I mean, that's what they're going to do no matter what. And the time to watch out for this, ladies and gentlemen, is during the lame duck session. Believe it or not, I think that's when things are going to get a lot weirder. If you think Greece is the only country that can go through austerity, you haven't seen it. Watch out this lame duck session right after the elections. Well, everybody now, after the election is over, everybody is going to go home. Unless there's a tie and there's something happens, but I doubt that will ever happen. As soon as the election is over, everybody goes home, everybody goes to sleep. Who gives a shit anyway? And that's when the real shit happens. When nobody's looking, that's when they start deciding things, that's when they start implementing things, that's when they start doing the most chaotic of things. Gutting Medicare, gutting food stamps, gutting WIC, or any of these entitlement programs. And they call this welfare reform. Look, we don't have welfare in this country. We don't. Whatever welfare we have is pretty minimal. I mean, we have WIC, food stamps, and WIC is only for pregnant women, by the way. And it's supposed to help with the protein of a child. The fetus can get appropriate protein. So if you're pro-life, maybe you should support WIC, but you don't, right? Because you're so pro-life, you want that to be privatized as a voucher somewhere. Maybe not. Just get rid of it. What do we need that shit for? And so, but the thing is that as far as the debate is concerned, it was more interesting. Finally got to see some action. I mean, that's what we needed with these debates, is action. I mean, we need somebody to start throwing some fists, punches, This whole, take turns kind of thing, and you say one thing, I say another, and it's really boring. But I will say this was a pretty unique debate. I think it was. Even when the rules were broken, and I think when the rules were broken, because Obama also broke the rules, it made it more interesting. So I think we should have more debates like this. In fact, I think we should have like a weekly or monthly debate like that, where you have the opposition debating the president, like you do in England with the Prime Minister's Question Time. Why can't we have that shit over here? But no, it's just that Americans are too lazy and they're too politically uninterested. And then when it comes down to crunch time, they're all like, I'm undecided, I don't know who to vote for, You're only undecided if you're unhappy. That's one thing. That's one thing I want to say. There's a difference between being an undecided voter and an unhappy voter. I am an unhappy voter. I'm not happy with my choices. I wish there was a box, and I support this move, a box where we can check none of the above. That's what Governor Jesse Ventura is promoting, and I really support that idea. I will be voting for that, none of the above. And I bet you that none of the above will win. And that means that Obama and Romney will not be president. We need somebody else. That would be nice, though. I am an unhappy voter. I'm not an undecided voter. I've already decided. I decided that all these candidates, both of these candidates in particular, are shit. Okay? I decided. So don't label me as an undecided voter. That's important. There's a huge difference. Unhappy, undecided. You're undecided because you don't know shit, or you don't care about shit, or you're just fucking ignorant, or you're just too stupid. Either of these can apply. But I'm not like that because I'm unhappy with my choices. Because I vetted all the choices that I have. So, that's where we are right now. Anyway. Obama versus Romney. That was a debate. Interesting, yes. Obama finally re-energized his batteries. And he stood up to Mormon Bishop Romney. And that's what he did. That I will give him props. But there's so many things, there's so many issues with Obama. I mean, it's not like I'm really happy. So, anyway. Alright, that's our debate.